Hello and good morning. This is the Breville Oracle Jet, model BES985. I've recently upgraded to this model from the Barista Touch Impress. I, of course, sell and buy these for a living. So I had this one, and I said, I think it's a good time to upgrade. I've been selling this particular model for the past 6 months, and I think it's good to use this model when you're selling it as well, just so you can give customers experience and feedback based on your personal experiences. I've used basically every other Breville model except this one. So from the Breville Infuser to the Duo Temp Pro, Express Pro, Express Impress, Barista Touch Impress, Oracle Touch. I've used all of them. This is the last one that I haven't used. Yeah, it's the latest model. It's been on the market for about a year. I think this is a good model. It's between the Oracle Touch and the Oracle. It's a single boiler machine, so you can only do the milk separately to the coffee and coffee separate to the milk. You can't do them at the same time. But it combines the full automation of the Oracle lineup, so the full automation of the grinding and tamping here, the full automation of the milk wand. It combines that with the single boiler speed of the Breville Barista Touch models. So those ones, they're ready in about 5 seconds. So, you wake up in the morning, you turn it on, and it takes 5 or 10 seconds to be ready, really. Have a look. It primes the line, and then that's it. It's ready to make a coffee. It's ready to give you some hot water. It's ready to give you steam. Otherwise, on the Breville Oracles, you would have to wait about 5 minutes. You'd have to wait about 5 minutes from boot up for you to make any coffee or steam. So it is much quicker. And I think because it's got the thermojet heating system, I think it's more durable than the Breville Oracles. Those are excellent machines, but they just need maintenance. Every 1 or 2 years they have to be maintained. Otherwise you can get issues with the steam boiler, especially leaking steam if you don't change the seals and tighten the connections frequently. Whereas this one, I would say more of a set and forget system. So far there hasn't been too many issues, at least from my point of view and from what I've read online. I mean, it's got so many features, it's hard to say them all in one video, and this is going to be like a mini review and demonstration video. So basically, I guess we can start from the left to right. So it's got continuous stepless grind size adjustment, Barazza burrs, so made in Italy, large 300 gram bean hopper, full automatic grind, tamp and dose. So you just put the portafilter here, it will dose the correct amount, it will polish your coffee and it will press it in place. You don't have to do anything, which you can also adjust the dose for. You can adjust the dose by adjusting the screw height on the tamper mechanism. There's a YouTube video for that as well. Going to the middle, it's got a heated group head, so literally an actively heated element here where the portafilter sits. So that's in addition to the boiler heating element. There's a separate one here that heats up this piece of metal. It does take a bit of time to heat up, so maybe after you turn it on, you can go brush your teeth or do something else and then come back to the machine nicely warmed up. Or you can do what I do usually, and that's to run a blank shot. So you just put your cup underneath, the portafilter is empty of course, you do that and it heats up by running some hot water through it. So yeah, the thermojet heating system is really quick, it's quite durable, low maintenance. You get steam, strong powerful steam within 5 or 10 seconds. Whereas on the other single boiler machines like the Barista Express, that's a very slow process, about 15 or 20 seconds, whereas on here it's much quicker, and it's a more powerful steam output as well. It's more power and water efficient, of course. You don't have to heat up this massive block of aluminium or this big boiler to get some hot water. It's just a quick coil that heats up. That's the coffee side. 9 bar pressure, which is standard on the pump. Steam side, it's got, like I told you, the quick, strong steam output. It's got auto clean, so when you finish, it will automatically clean the wand. The wand itself is insulated, so it's not, the steam is going through a tube, which is wrapped by a bit of plastic, which is wrapped by this metal tube. So you won't burn yourself when you try to clean it. It won't burn the milk. When you remove the milk jug after steaming, it won't burn the milk and require hard scrubbing. I know on the Oracle and Oracle Touch, this was one of the flaws, is that you really had to scrub it hard to clean the wand after steaming because it's non-insulated. It's a piece of metal that's in contact with steam. Whereas here it's much easier to clean. And yeah, so going onto the system, the machine will like remind you when to do the cleaning cycle, the descale cycle, the steam wand cleaning cycle, the water filter change. It's got the ability to create multiple drinks. So I think up to 20. You can customize the shot size, so how many mils. I think it goes from 20 mils up to something crazy like 100 mils of brew. You can control the temperature. It will guide you about grind size, so it will tell you that this shot was too quick or too slow based on what it sees and the timing, and it will tell you to change the grind size accordingly. Cleaning cycles, what else? Obviously you can control the brightness and the sound. You can control this light here, which is a nice addition to the Oracle lineup. It will literally light up your coffee and your workbench so you can see at night. So if I turn these off, it's quite visible and I can literally make a coffee without any problems, without having to turn on the entire kitchen. And it does have Wi-Fi, so you can get software updates. It's got the ability to make cold brew and cold espresso, which is actually quite interesting. Recently they added the ability to do espresso martini, which is I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon. A cold brew function where I think it takes about 5 minutes to go through the coffee brew. There's a cold espresso, which is that 1 minute extraction from my understanding. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't have the time to do it in this video, but I've seen videos and the taste it's not an iced coffee unless you add ice to it. It's just a room temperature brew because it will turn on the pump but not turn on the boiler, so that's how it can become cold brew or room temperature brew, let's say. Enough talking. I think it's time to make a coffee. I like this machine. I think it's the best machine for me. Previously I had the Barista Touch and Press, which is very similar, cheaper machine, smaller. Doesn't have the full automation of the grind tamper fan. Doesn't have the heated group head and the newer screen system. That was an excellent machine, but I think this is the next step up. More automatic, even though I like to, tinker with my coffee. There's a couple of people in my household, my parents and my wife, they don't particularly want to learn how to make coffee, which is fine. So instead of teaching them how to tamp and how to use the razor tool, etc., I can just teach them to put this here and then put this here. It's as easy as that. Alright, let's make some coffee. As you saw, my favorite first step is to get my cup, put it underneath, put the handle on, and run the blank shot. That's going to warm up your coffee. It's going to get rid of any coffee grounds that are stuck in the group head from the previous brew. So I recommend you do that. Next, you want to get your portafilter and dry it with a tissue or a cloth. Select your drink, of course. So I'm going to go to my drink. I'm using grind size 24. This is a grind size dial here. This will control how large or how fine the coffee particles are. Larger grind size will give you a faster brew. Smaller grind size will give you a slower brew. You want your brew to take about 20 to 30 seconds for the shot. So I think last night I made a coffee, yesterday I made a coffee at 24 or 23, and it was quite good. Let's give it a try. I'm using the single shot basket. This will take about 12 grams of coffee. I'm going to measure the output just to give you an idea. Some people ask me. This will take 10 to 12 grams from my memory. Make sure you have enough coffee. It's not very loud as well. It's quite reasonable in terms of noise levels compared to the Oracle and Oracle Tap. That was breezy. It was almost instant. Very quick as well. So that's that. Nicely tamped, pressed coffee. Sometimes you have loose coffee like on the edge or on inside. You just flip it upside down, get rid of those loose particles, and just lock it in the middle. Now you're ready to make your shot. I need to measure. I forgot to measure. That is 12.5 grams. So it's a nice strong dose of coffee. So I think most people will enjoy the single shot. The double shot gives you about 23 or 24 grams. I think it's a lot of coffee for me personally. I'm trying to cut on caffeine, so I'm going to start using single shots from now on. I forgot to mention one of the features, one of the many features. You've got hot water output here, so if you want to do a long black or Americano, you can just add the hot water like this. You don't have to move the cup. I like to use hot water tap on this model to add some sugar to my coffee. So the water helps the sugar dissolve, and it just creates a more even coffee. As I'm doing this, I'll mention a few of the other features. It's got a large 2-liter water tank with a filter built in. It's got a water tank sensor, so it won't actually let you make coffee if your water tank is empty. It's also got a visual level here that you can see with your eyes, which is also lit up with LEDs. You've got a caster system, so like a wheel bearing system where you flick this knob or this lever and the machine becomes weightless. Basically, it's very easy to move around. If you need to clean behind it or you need to change the water tank or clean the water tank. You can also fill the water tank from this chute here, as you saw I did in the beginning. And it's got a large drip tray, which will be need to change about once a week, or maybe twice a week if you make a lot of coffees. Alright, let's brew some coffee. I've got my scale reset to 0 now, so we can measure the output. Why am I measuring the output? This relates to the grind size and the brew speed. So a perfect espresso recipe is a 2-to-1 recipe. So it means for every gram you grind into the handle, you want 2 grams out into the cup. So we ground about 12.5, we want 25 in the cup. That's in a perfect world. You know, sometimes the numbers aren't perfect, and that's fine. As long as the coffee tastes good, stick with that setting. But if you have your grind size very fine, you might not. So very fine meaning this grind number is very small. That means the particles are very small. The brew may take ages to come out. So you'll see the coffee come out in drips instead of a consistent stream. And then you taste it. It tastes a bit burnt or too strong for you. That's one of the drawbacks of having a very small grind size. So if in that case you increase the grind size up by a few numbers, it should increase your flow speed and it should make for a better drink. On the other extreme, if your grind size is too large, if the particles are too coarse, the number is too large here, your coffee may be very quick. The shot may take little to no time to come out, or your output would be large and it'll taste watery. So you may not like that either. So that's why you need to stick to a 2-to-1 ratio. This machine can dose by time and also by volume, which is quite unique. Not many machines can do that. It's a nice consistent stream. I think it looks pretty good on grind size 24. Not sure if you can see that, but it's a nice consistent stream. Could be faster, but I think it's alright. It's just crossing the 30-second mark now. I'll let it go and see how much we get. This is on the grind size 24, and the brew time is 48 seconds. So it's on the slower end. And we got about 40 mils. So this is more than what we wanted. If we look at the quantity, there's a few selections. There's single, there's double, there's Lungo, there's Lungo Plus. So you can mess with these settings based on your grind size, and this will give you different outputs. I think the standard is a double shot, which is what we got. We've got quite a lot of coffee, so maybe next time we can try the ristretto or the single. But also, the grind size plays a role here. So if your grind size is too large, the shot will be quicker. If your grind size is too small, the shot will be slower. So bear that in mind. You have two things you're controlling. You're controlling the volume by this selection. You're also controlling the speed by this selection. So this is not perfect. I wouldn't. It's far from it. I think this is a lot of coffee for what we put in. We put in 12.5. We got 50. That's a 4-to-1 ratio. Sorry, 40. That's almost a 3-to-1 ratio. So what I would do next is I would probably increase the grind size because it was flowing too slowly, and I would probably reduce the output. Maybe let's save that setting. Yeah, so that's that. Let's do the milk side of things. I've filled the milk jug with cold full cream cow's milk, just below this spout here. This is the standard for a latte. Make sure it doesn't cross this curve here, because if it does, it might overflow. And make sure it's not too low, because if it's too low, the wand won't be able to reach. If you know what I mean, it won't be able to reach the steaming tip. Alright, let's start steaming. It's on 60 degrees. You can select your own milk type. So it's on dairy, temperature on 60 degrees, microfoam level on 6. It goes up to 8. That's the beauty of the touchscreen machines. You can create your own drink. So you can create up to 20 different drinks with different coffee lengths, different milk types and milk temperatures, different amounts of hot water. So if you have an Americano, you can just select the Americano drink type. It'll give you the shot and then the hot water. If you're doing a latte, you can save the different temperatures and foam levels of the milk, etc. You can also foam manually or froth your milk manually. So if you flick the wand up, it'll allow you to foam manually as well, like a barista. It's a really good amount of foam it's giving us. And by the way, different types of milk will behave differently. So if you try fresh milk, long life milk, different brands of milk, they will give you slightly different results. So that's why the machine has a bit of calibration in it. So you can go from 1 up to 8 on the level of foam. So you can titrate the different levels of milk that you get. Sorry, foam that you get. So once it's done, you're going to grab a tissue or a cloth and give it a good wipe. And then when you push it down, it'll also clean itself. It might make a mess, so it might spray a little bit of milk as it's cleaning itself. It's all done. So just give that one another wipe on the tray there. And that's about it. In terms of cleaning this, you can just start a shot, and that will give you some hot water again to clean. Just rotate it so you get all the angles, and then stop. Awesome. Now let's pour the milk. So you probably will get some bubbles, so to get rid of those, knock the jug on the countertop, and then swirl it around. Do this a few times until the surface is nice and smooth. Great. Alright, I think this is more of a cappuccino than a latte. It's really thick foam. Let me show you the final result. I tried to do a bit of a heart shape here. Wasn't very successful. I'm not a barista. I don't do latte art. And again, this is probably not a latte. The foam size was quite large, so maybe next time we can reduce it and get a smoother milk. Again, different milks will behave differently, and if you do it manually, as you see there, flick this up, you do it manually, you can actually get really, really silky milk, just like a cafe machine can do. I did that last night, doing some chai lattes for me and my brother, and yeah, it was really, really smooth on the manual mode. Automatic, it gets pretty good, but you just have to play with the different froth levels. Yeah, so this level 6 is giving me quite a lot of foam. It was about 2 centimeters, and yeah, it looks delicious. But I'm sure you can do better latte art if you do some training and some practice at home with this machine. Anyway, hope you enjoy this model. If you have any questions about it, let me know. Thanks again for watching. Hope it's helped you and added some value to your coffee making routine. Thanks for watching.